Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, welcome back to the Gonzo Ewok channel with me, Gonzo,
and me, Ewok,
for another episode of Geordie Space Program. A New Hope, episode 3.
3, yes.
3. Hey, there we go.
We promised we would practice this time, so we're going to be nice and prepared, aren't we, Gonzo?
No,
I didn't practice either.
No, I kind of forgot.
Yeah. And we really struggled to actually get that orbit. So, where's the skip? Have you seen this button? Warp to next morning.
Yeah, I quite like that one.
Hey,
that's nice.
We're going to get a daytime launch.
So, we said in episode 3 we were going to do a Lunar flyby, didn't we?
The goal of episode 2 was to get an orbit, which we did in the orbital craft, is probably the one it is. So that got an orbit, but, you know... Just. So...
It's going to need to be bigger and stronger.
Did we spend the science we had last time?
I think we did, right?
I think we did.
Worth double checking, but I think we did.
Let's have a quick look at what we've got then. Well, we've only got 48 science.
There was something we picked up and said, "Oh, that'll be handy."
We got flight control. We got batteries.
Yeah, we'll need batteries.
I think we had all of this stuff. Yeah, we had the swivel engine.
I think it was the flight control we picked up, so we'd get SAS. Was it not?
Well, we do have SAS on that, and we've got the Mark 1 inline cockpit and better winglet. In any event, I think part of our problem was that, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got like the same length on our bottom stage as we have on the top stage. And
everyone likes a length in the bottom.
I know, but that's not right. You need a big bottom stage, and then a medium stage, and then if you're going to do a lander, you want a small top stage. Obviously, we're just doing a flyby, so we don't want a lander. But that's a design idea to keep in mind. It's how the pros do it.
Now, before we start building, go to where it says orbital craft at the top. We're giving this sucker a name. It's a bit of a break from convention, but it's getting a name. Do you know what that name's going to be?
What's the name going to be?
Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins.
Do you know why it's going to be Leroy Jenkins?
Not really.
You sort of do, because I started explaining it.
You've told me about the video. I've never seen the video. Apparently, we
were supposed to watch it before we started recording.
You said you were going to show us, but...
How haphazard.
That's alright, I'll watch it afterwards.
Well, this is to fulfill a promise to Kirby. Kirby, on watching the Leroy Jenkins video that I put up on our Facebook channel, if you can find that if you search for Gonzo Ewok on Facebook.
Well, look, they're probably here because they're watching this video.
It's probably below you. If you're watching it on Facebook, it's probably a post or two below this one.
Yeah, we get a lot of the views through the Facebook page.
But in any event, Kirby, after watching the video, had said you've got to pay homage to the Leroy Jenkins video and Leroy Jenkins in general in your next episode. Just cough over the top of us, bastard. Shut up. Shut up.
Awful tea that you've made me, by the way.
Drink your tea. You're drinking tea. We drink coffee in the Gonzo Ewok head shed, and I don't know what the fuck you were thinking with tea. And then you're distracting us. I'm trying to explain my story.
You're such a baby.
I said I was going to explain some stories when we were recording, and I said, when I do that, you need to shut up and let us talk with your interrupting ways. And in any event, Leroy Jenkins.
You've dropped your dummy, mate.
Of course I have.
Go on. The floor is yours. Go on, go ahead.
It's not mine though, is it? Because you're going to open your friggin' shithole again. I can see.
I'm not. It's all yours.
Right, Leroy Jenkins.
Leroy Jenkins. Who's that? No. I'm done. You're all right. Go ahead. I'll just build this. That's fine. You tell the people. Don't give me that look.
Can I talk?
You can, of course.
Then I'll begin. It's only taken 50 fucking years to get to this joyous day. Leroy Jenkins is a video that it turned 10 this week. The week you'll be watching this weekend, it turned 10 this week. And it was an original big sort of gamers, nerdy kind of meme back from about 10 years ago. And basically what it is, it's a bunch of guys who are in a clan and they're playing World of Warcraft. And they're all standing around this particularly dangerous opening to a dungeon. And one of the party's members is called Leroy Jenkins. And Leroy Jenkins is a guy in real life was a player called Brad Schultz. And he's sitting just listening to all these plans as they're being made. And basically the rest of the clan are saying Leroy, as his character name, is a bit of a weak link here. So we're going to have to plan accordingly to make sure that he's going to be safe and he can play a vital part in the next upcoming plan. Basically what happened was that Leroy Jenkins, the actual player, Brad Schultz, had started reheating some chicken, and so he missed most of the plans and didn't bother listening to them. As a result, he comes back to the table as everybody's still planning, and then he suddenly decides to just gallivant off, shouting his war cry of Leroy Jenkins. Hopefully we'll hear that later. At which point, everything goes tits up, he gets killed, the rest of the party all rush in to go and save him, they all die as well. So, that is why we're calling this the Leroy Jenkins. Kirby saw the video and said, we've got to pay homage to it, so that's exactly what we're going to do. Hopefully we might get a little bit of a battle cry ourselves if and when we get this thing up and launched. So, that's all I wanted to say. We're friends again. I've said me piece. I've got another story, but I'll tell that a bit later. Okay. So, it's worth hanging around for that one, listeners.
We never put bloody communicators on, and that's really stupid, because EVA reports and crew reports have a 100% transmission rate.
Yeah.
So we're only getting one crew report on a mission.
We'll need a lot of batteries if we're going to do that a fair few times, because it eats your batteries up.
Yeah,
we haven't got solar panels.
We don't have solar panels, so I'm going to put a huge layer of batteries.
Aye, I'm a little bit concerned at our lack of batteries, if I'm brutally honest.
I don't want to block the pod though. I'll just put them around there.
You could. I was going to say you could maybe put like a.
Do you think that'll be enough?
Don't think that'll screw with the aerodynamics too much.
Why would it? They're balanced.
I just mean like in terms of drag. That's all. Want that drag to the rocket being right at the pointy end.
I
and
believe batteries might still be physicless, but let's just do that then.
Well, it'll do.
It looks alright actually.
It's not bad. Not bad.
I've got some goo canisters in there. Last time we didn't put the girder down. I've put the girder down in the hope that it'll make this a bit more bottom heavy when it comes back in.
Not a bad idea.
So that we've got the heat shield at the bottom. Do I need anything else in there? Girders, Science Junior, lots of batteries, and the hoo-ha with the wingworm.
You could put the hoo-ha with the wingworm in the service bay.
That'd be pretty hard to actually click on.
Yeah, you put it in the bottom. There's some space there, look.
Oops, I'm on offset mode.
Yeah, it'll fit in there. Put a bunch in.
Just pop it on the side there.
You just take them one. Take 4. Just put them on the corners. And then that way, no matter what way you come at this thing, you're going to find one. Yeah, that's good. See, if we take 2, we can take an average, and then my tests are more scientific.
Did I actually put the heat shield on there? It doesn't look like I have.
No, you haven't.
Where does that come in? Structural? It's a new part, so
Utility,
I don't know where it is.
I think.
Utility.
No, that's where we were.
Aerodynamics it'll be.
Ah, that would make sense. There
Aerodynamics, there we go. Get a nice heat shield on the bottom. And then separation stage.
Cool.
And what do I need? Legs. Legs would be good.
Always handy. We found with alarm and regularity these things snap off when we're trying to do re-entry, but
it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, it'll bring them just the same. I'm hoping that doesn't happen maybe once we've got heavier legs. Maybe a bit high up.
I think they're alright, because I think we did this last time, didn't we?
I can't remember.
A little bit high up.
Take off the...
Should we swap the way that these are around?
I wouldn't. Oh, actually, what weighs more? What do you reckon? How much does that Science Junior weigh?
Right, okay, that's a clever thing to do. So
the
service bay weighs 0.1.
It's got 2 goo canisters in, but they don't weigh very much.
The girder weighs 0.125.
Bit heavier.
The Science Junior weighs 0.2. So
the Science Junior will be lighter with all that gubbins in.
Mm-hmm. So we really do want this at the bottom.
Aye.
Service bays are going to be quite tough. It probably will be all right.
Yeah, I would think so. But I really like them. I still really like them. The couple of times I've loaded up Kerbal, and haven't really been playing it that much, as I said. What I have been doing is putting fairings and service bays on stuff. Not even launching it.
Come on, Ewok. Just get that straight, would you? Let's just see what happens. I mean,
it clips horribly, but
it works.
Right. Okay. So,
we're nearly done here, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you worry. In fact, we might actually be done. Do you want some SAS on here?
Hang on a second. How are we nearly done? Have you put more stuff on the rocket?
A little bit. We've got 2 extra fuel tanks on the bottom stage.
Right. What I was thinking, do we not need like a little mini stage at the very top with maybe a bus engine for?
We don't have tiny engines.
Shite. That's
I
very
had them on
unfortunate.
75% last time, didn't I?
Yeah, and it didn't go very fast. And we're heavier now.
I think 75% will be enough. We don't want to go too fast, because we'll lose control if we go too fast. I mean, shall we call this the Leroy Jenkins Mark 1 and give it a go?
No. If Leroy Jenkins explodes and dies horribly, he explodes and dies horribly. I'm not precious about the name.
Pull the bloody legs off again.
Is it me, or since 1.0 came out, is it a little bit harder to get symmetry? I know it was...
No, I was just
You've
doing it from the wrong angle, really. Let's get some SAS on, although we don't really want the SAS there. We would want it closer to a centre of mass, which isn't going to happen in this rocket. So...
did we have it on the last one? You being cheeky. That's quite cheeky. Has that worked?
Uh-huh.
My word.
And then I'm just going to offset it, so that it doesn't take up any room.
Clever.
I am
SAS
clever.
hidden in the gubbins.
This rocket is going to wobble like hell. It
Yeah.
may even split in half. We need a new pilot. Oh, we haven't put... I didn't put the short up.
No, you haven't.
I'll put the short up. I'll have to put it up before I put this up, but we need a new pilot because we've got a pilot lost in space.
We do.
We should have cheated our way out of that, because in fairness, before the game crashed, we did have her back on course to Kerbin.
Yeah.
But
At the time of recording, there should be a short up that was an addendum to the last episode.
That we came back to after the crash.
Yeah, I forgot about that. The game crashed. We went back, tried it, and we lost. Who was it? Was it Penny? Penny Crayon?
It was Penny Crayon. Penny
Shit.
Crayon. We haven't lost her. She's up in space.
That's kind of lost. Like, being in space is sort of lost.
Oh, capacity's reached. We're going to have to put an orange coat in a risky test rocket. And it's going to have to be Jeb or Valentina, because we need a pilot. We don't need a pilot, but I'd rather have a pilot trained up. Or, we've got 344,000, we could upgrade the Astro
75 grand to do it, and then we'll have to pay for it. Yeah, it's worth doing until we know this rocket works. There's no way an orange coat's flying
Jeff
it.
Moore? Or
Incredibly.
Edby? Or Wendy?
Well, we've had Penny Crayon. She was a girl. In the
No,
interests of fairness,
look at her courage and stupidity ratings. She's incredibly stupid and incredibly brave. That's exactly what we need in a test
it is.
pilot.
Come on, Space Monkey. Wendy, your time is up.
Okay, we are ready to launch. I'm just going to quickly look at the recording timer. We've been going for 12 minutes. Let us load up
Be auto-saved.
the
it's
Leroy
Leroy.
Jenkins.
Leroy!
Yeah, I saved it before we came out. Let's
Nice.
make sure we've got everything.
Staging correct.
The staging... Where's the two? Oh, yes. Yeah, we don't want them going off at the same time. We want that one there, and then drop it. So we've got the parachutes.
I don't know if this is going to be enough, you know.
So
I've
what if
got
it's
me
not?
doubts.
There's one more
It's-
thing we haven't done, and that's go to the missions menu and see if
We can get a Flyby.
see if we can get something
contract
to
time.
help us out. So mission control.
Either way, we're going to give this a go. If it doesn't work, we
So-
need to maybe get some more science. But
Explore the moon. We need to achieve an orbit in order to get anything back from that.
no, we can't do that.
But we'll get 15,000 for the scientific data from space around the moon.
Right.
So it's worth taking to get that 15,000. The
What's-
contract
what's-
never expires.
If it doesn't, yeah, that was me next
And we'll
question.
get 75,000 advance as well.
Well, that just paid for the astronaut complex. That's nice. That cost us 75 grand, made that back already.
Good point.
Anything we do now is profit. Make us some profit, Ewok, with little Wendy.
Well, that's not exactly true, because the rocket's going to cost 26,000. So even if this succeeds, we're 10 grand in the minus. But we'll come back all the richer for it in terms of science. Science is what we need right now because what parts are very limited.
Right. Okay then. Get things ready.
Get things ready. I'll put the.
I'll give you a countdown once we're up and ready to go. Right. That looks all right. Got your lights on. You comfortable?
All good.
3, 2, 1.
Leroy Jenkins. Okay, it moves. It moves all right.
Don't.
I'm just doing a little turn,
Okay.
just to make sure we don't end up turning the wrong way.
It's a
That's
bit
fine.
wobbly.
Let's get that SAS off, because that SAS.
Well, it'll use the batteries up as well when we've got that on. But,
It is wobbly as hell. I can't get the SAS off. There we go. Oh, we are spinning like a mofo. But that's fine. Let's get the SAS back on.
Yeah, maybe just in the early stages until we're kind of pointing in the right direction. Right, ditch.
Oh!
Was that the engine?
That was the engine.
And so rests Wendy Kerman.
Okay, so they took the engine off. Ouch, a Rooney.
Right, can we fly this to somewhere where we haven't got signs yet? Can you aim for the Badlands? No, I'll tell you what. Turn left. Go left.
Oh, hang on, you mean...
No, left.
Do you mean west?
Left.
Do you mean,
Go left.
You mean west, that way?
That's it. Aim for the mountains. Put her on the mountains. We haven't got anything from there.
Try and land on them. Whoa. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. Craft's a bit out of control because we've lost the velocity, basically. Which means we've kind of lost a bit of the control.
Yeah, we can do it. Look, there, you've got it. We're moving. So try and get across to the mountains, and then at least we've got something for the cost. Yeah, there. Now we're moving in the right direction.
We are. Whoa, there we go. I lost it again.
As you can see, ladies and gents, from the nav ball spinning wildly out of control. That was an accident.
Lost again.
Done a backflip.
Oh, it's because I'm pushing it too fast for this altitude, and we've got no stability.
If you use Z, you can hit 100% thrust immediately, which is quite handy when you're spinning out of control. You know how X kills it?
Ah.
If you hit Z when you're pointing in the right direction. I mean, you shouldn't test that when the engines are pointing away
The
from
problem
where
with
we wanna
this particular design, mate, is that we've got no stability because the fins have come off. We've lost the bit that's meant for low atmosphere.
Look, it's alright, look, we're getting towards them. You can see the mountains are starting to get a bit bigger.
It's going to take forever because we can't really push much past 250 metres a second.
That's there. Just hold it.
I can't hold it.
So we're just going to piss money up the wall and not even get any signs. Go on, ladies and gents of our subscriber base and our viewers will forgive us for trying this. This is what we do. This is our things. We do try and make videos entertaining, but sometimes shit happens. There, see, you're doing it. You're getting this nice sort of like backflippy, boosty thing
just
going
baby
on.
steps. We are still coming down. We're not going up, we're coming down.
As long as we go down in that direction, we're alright. Go on, go forward.
I can't.
No, yeah, it's kind of lost its momentum. I see what you're saying.
Let's try. No, we're sort of trapped.
It's fallen now. It's been caught by gravity.
Gravity, you son of a bitch!
You slag! Right. Parachute?
We've still got loads of time before we need to deploy the parachute.
I just feel safer when it's out and it hasn't ripped off.
Do a crew report. We'll not do an EVA report.
Probably not. Have we getting anything from the grasslands? Surely we must have done.
Okay, that kind of broke the legs when I did that.
Right, leave these bits open and just put the legs down. I don't think we've been to the grasslands even. No. Well, that's flying a curb and there's no point testing that until we get down. What about... Right, reset that.
Yeah, and then we'll wait till we're down.
Did you get a temperature while flying?
I did, yeah, I just got temperature there.
Cool. Parachute's out, that's deployed. The antenna is now defying all laws of physical reality, which is nice to see.
It is.
To be honest.
It's love to see It's love to see a speech with dictionary. You can't just look at me like that. Viewers don't get that.
Yeah, but
you have to vocalise your disappointment in me.
They can tell by the panic in your voice the look that I'm giving you for your lack of diction. Right, we're coming down.
We are coming down nice and gently. Those legs are going to be fine. That's got to have like a decent crash tolerance.
Have you put the legs out?
Yeah, that is the legs deployed.
Oh yes, that's right. There wasn't much ground clearance. I wouldn't like to try and take this thing over a speed bump. Oof. Right, we're down. We can get... Yeah, that's a bad design.
Nah,
we've been here. Been on the ground here. Have we... Or can we do an EVA on the ground?
We can.
Well, we should do that.
Ugh, it would be that one. Out of all four I could pick.
Nice. Yep, we'll take that. Had a crew report here.
I figured we had, but there's no harm in checking.
The little camera blur that you get as the get out always panics us a little bit. It always makes us shite.
No good.
We're can't get anything from the ground. We can plant flags now.
We can plant flags. In fact, it might be a good idea at one point to plant one at the Space Centre, because I always like to have one there.
As a reference.
So, we've got a design flaw.
A significant design flaw. Actually, people can see in the orbital crafter that's Penny Crayon, just floating her way around. There she is.
Poor Penny. Slightly suborbital.
She might come down eventually.
Yeah, but...
That problem will probably sort itself.
Yeah, but she will die on the way down.
Well, we're not having that. We'll have to keep an eye out, because I'm not losing Penny Crayon. I've grown attached to her. She's my new edible for this series. We had edible in the last one, or maybe the last one before that even.
Right,
this
so
one, we've got Penny Crayon.
What's the problem with these?
They're maybe putting them a bit lower down. Is that what you're doing?
Yes.
Aye. Because I think the drag, as it pulls them back, pushed them together. Unfortunately, it pushed them together around the engine. So hopefully it'll push them together underneath the engine and then they'll just explode. Right.
What I'm going to do is also... I'm going to pop them off actually for a moment. Just drop them there.
And take the parts off that rocket you're building. Ba-boom!
That's very funny. I'm going to do a little engine protector.
Ah, the good old engine protector. Have we tried it in 1.0?
No, we haven't. I hope it still works.
So here you can see, if you haven't watched any of our videos before, if you have, you'll be aware of this, but basically using those girders and offsetting them acts as like a little defensive kind of shark cage for your engines.
So if it does tap against there, hopefully the girders are a little more... Well, the girders are a little more resilient than the engines.
It just gives the engine a bit more of a fighting chance. It's a nice little tip, that one. It's a cool thing you came up with.
3, 4, 5, 6. So we really want that on the... I want that down a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
Let's just move that down a touch. Not too much. About there, I think.
Yeah, that should be okay. Even if they do swing quite violently underneath like a pendulum, they'll explode. If anything, that explosion might push you up. Don't think that's a thing in game.
This is the Leroy Jenkins Mark II. Leroy's second attempt.
Who's flying it? Wendy. That's alright.
You ready?
Okay. Right, give it a go.
1, 2, 3. Leroy Jenkins!
Really, we should fire it as we're shouting that. It works a bit better than just shout it while sitting still and then...
Honestly, you're nothing but critical, Gonzo. You should fly these damn things. You know so much.
No, I've seen what happens when I do that. I am practicing. I am getting better.
You just admitted that you haven't been practicing. Whoa. Easy, Leroy.
He's a brutish beast, isn't he?
He certainly is.
Yeah, okay, I haven't been practicing half as much as I would like, but... You know, I can get into a comfortable 300k orbit.
The aerodynamics is pulling us all over the shop here.
Right,
we need to lose some speed to gain some stability.
No, it don't.
We do.
We're fine. It'll all level out as we get up the atmosphere. Just keep gently Bentley.
Gently Bentley.
There we are. There, that's... Well, it's not textbook, it's a bit too high, but that's better. See, it's starting to balance a bit.
It's wobbly as hell, this bad boy.
That's fine. Look, it's doing it.
We're at that beautiful point where...
It's not really gaining or losing speed. That's very, very gentle. That's an efficient burn. Crank it.
Let's start to open it up now.
Nice. You know what?
I'm going to nip to the nerve ball.
Fair bit of fuel there.
We've still got a ways left to go, my old friend.
Well, it's a fairly heavy rocket. I think...
we said we were going to do a moon flyby.
We did.
We never said we were bringing it back to Kerbal. That's a bonus objective.
We have got a communitron.
We do have a communitron. Actually, that's a good point. I thought not.
Just keep it there. We're using quite a bit of fuel here. Doubt we're going to have enough to get an orbit and a transfer and a return.
We shall see, mate. We'll see.
I think we really need to focus our efforts on getting the WUS engines.
Yeah, we need to focus on some science, really.
If this gets into a comfortable orbit, and we had another stage with a small fuel tank and a WUS engine, that would be enough to do it.
But if we had another stage, would it get into a comfortable orbit? That's the question you've got to ask yourself.
Then we just add more rockets.
It doesn't help that my gravity burn here has been absolutely appalling.
Not as bad as the last one we just tried.
That's very true.
Because that kind of just turned into some sort of weird shuriken that flew off to the left, then the right, then the left.
Pick up a lot of speed here.
Aye, but
I'm pulling away. Close that throttle. I shouldn't be getting too much air resistance this high.
Oh, we're still... I mean, we're in the upper atmosphere, but it's still an atmosphere. Oh dear.
Yeah, the 1.0 has totally mussed me up.
Aye, it's proven difficult.
I don't think I'm going to get this back in control. I've got the RCS and the SAS on. It seems to be very top heavy. It just wants to.
Well, it is. I mean, we've got a fairly hefty bunch of parts up there, haven't we? There, that's doing it.
Yeah, but we're not going up anymore.
No. But we are ever so slightly.
No, we're not.
I'd gun it. Gun it! Go on, just open them up. Hit Z.
If I open it up, I'll lose control immediately. I can feel it.
Got Wendy. Wendy, listen to me. You've got a long and prosperous career in Geordie Space Program ahead of you, if you can pull this off. Wendy, listen to me. Doesn't look as though she's listening, really, does it?
It's open.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all out.
Okay, Wendy. I'm liking what you're doing here. You keep at it, Wendy. We'll probably get enough for an orbit here, but I think that's probably cost with dear.
I think the orbit will be pushing it.
Aye.
We shall see. There's a 75, that'll do. Nah, we haven't got enough for an orbit. Just try and take it down somewhere nice, really.
Maybe aim for... Well, the thing is, I mean, with the re-entry effects, it makes it a bit difficult to plan effectively where we want to come down, doesn't it? We're still not quite up to speed with the re-entry effects, and actually saying we want to be there under the old system, we could just dart it there and it would be fine. Here we can't do that.
We may get an orbit. It's only an 11-second orbit. 11-second burn to get an orbit.
We don't want to leave Wendy and Penny Crayon floating around in space.
We'll not leave.
The twin singing sisters of Kerbin just floating around for eternity. Although I doubt Penny Crayon's going to be floating around for very much longer. It might take her a couple of weeks, but she is coming back one way or the other.
Once we've got a decent rocket, we'll pick her up.
Mm.
See, under the old designs, I'm sure this rocket would have been alright, you know.
Mm. Yeah, it probably would have done the trick. The lack of bus engines is causing a problem. We need to work out more about the control surfaces as well. We need to understand the aerodynamic effects a little bit better. They're very wobbly. I think that's a 68, was that? 71.
71 now. We are in orbit, anyway. Let's see if we can get some science out of this.
Can we do a spacewalk?
We can now, yeah.
Nice.
So we can get an EVA from just above Kerbin's water to keep data.
We could go back in and send that, and then get another one once we're over land.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. This could be a good science farming experiment.
Apologies if you can hear screaming in the background. That's feral children that live on my street. The driver's mental. That's all I've got to say about that, really. If you can't hear them, I do apologise.
Let's get some temp readings.
Maybe they're just shouting Leroy. Maybe that's what's happening. Maybe they're getting excited because they've heard all the shouting of Leroy. Maybe it's our fault. Maybe we're the monsters. I don't like the way those legs jab like that.
No, we've already got the... it's just going to be...
Space near Kerbin.
It's just going to be getting crew reports, really.
Aye.
But that's fine, we can get a few.
Yeah, I mean, we've got the batteries, we might as well use them.
I did transmit that data, didn't I?
I think so.
How come my electric charge is still full?
You could right-click on the part and click transmit.
I did that. Transmit data. Oh, there we go. Now it's sending it. I must have just extended it by accident.
Aye. The grasslands. Bit more science. I'm liking this. This might get rid of our bus engine. Right.
Transmit.
Nice. Fly, fly, fly. And I think we're coming up to... do those count as the highlands or the mountains?
We'll probably get highlands and mountains there.
Nice.
No, we're at Kerbin's water. I will not time warp with her outside.
Go on, Wendy, you little science whore. Well done. Yes, I'm liking it. This is a good way of getting science. Cling to the outside and look at stuff.
It is really. I mean, it's not what we wanted to do, but it's
something. This isn't a Moona Flyby. That's probably going to have to wait at least another episode the way things are going.
I believe you're probably right.
Aye.
And that's our bad for not doing the practice that we were supposed to have done.
Yeah. Now, sadly,
today... What's your excuse? Why haven't you practiced?
I've been all over the shop. At work, I've been very busy. I've been all over the region, all over the northeast, going to various offices and holding sort of clinics where people are coming in, like members of staff are coming in to find out about the technology they're using. But a lot of travel, and that takes a lot of kind of prep and a lot of backwards and forwards. And then Tuesday of this week just gone, I was down in London. I was doing my media training for work as well.
Ooh, exciting.
It was good fun, getting grilled by the next BBC journalist. One I recognised as well. Couldn't quite recognise his face, but as soon as he started talking, I knew who he was. So I'm guessing I must recognise him from radio. But really, really enjoyed that. Did very, very well. I was bragging about it on my Facebook page.
I noticed that.
And on my personal Facebook page.
Arrogant man.
I was just full of adrenaline. It was really good. He was shoving cameras in my face. He was getting in with the old reporters' microphones as well, and getting sound bites and asking difficult questions, and it was really, really good. I really, really enjoyed doing it. And obviously it helps with doing the YouTube thing. I'm used to the sound of my own voice now. When we first started YouTube, it was bloody horrible having to listen to the sound of your own voice. But actually, I would recommend anybody who has any kind of anxieties or any kind of worries about their confidence, if you bite the bullet, record yourself doing something you enjoy, and then play it back. It does really bring you on. It's good fun.
I've got exactly the same problem, mate. The sound of your voice just gets right on my tits.
You're cruising for a bruising today, son.
Unfortunately, now I can't see where we are.
Just keep trying at random. This is probably a good point. I said there was a second story that I was going to tell, and people had to hold back for us. You haven't heard this one either, and it's an interesting one. And probably viewers at home might not know this, but you do. That I have asthma.
Mm-hmm.
Not a particularly bad case, but it's not like it's a light case. Like I have like one of the blue inhalers if I get a bit tight-chested, and I've got to use one of the brown steroid inhalers as a preventer.
The preventative.
Got to use that on a regular basis. Well, that ran out on Monday. Which usually means after a day or two of not using it, I start feeling a bit sort of tight and wheezy. Of course, this is me being a complete idiot, but I was also a heavy smoker. I'm not now. I use my electric one, but very rarely touch a cigarette. Sometimes if I'm out with the lads and having a drink or something, I might grab one, but don't generally tend to smoke anything apart from using my electric one. But that's a good combination, and of course that makes your chest sort of quite bad. And I've had asthma I didn't have it when I was a kid, but I got diagnosed with it probably about 10 years ago, thereabouts. And of course the doctors and the nurses were saying you need to quit smoking, and I was kind of paying them all the lip service and not really getting around to it. But in any event, last night was about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up and I felt a little bit tight-chested. And with us running out of the brown inhaler, I was starting to feel a little bit wheezy, but not as bad as I used to, certainly when I was smoking. So I woke up and I needed to take a piss as well. So I came through into the spare bedroom where we're recording here, where we record the Gonzo Ewok stuff, because it's an ensuite bathroom as well. All the houses, they're weird, it's the same with your house. There's no master bathroom suite, but your bedrooms are all ensuite.
I'm going to bring this down, but you keep going.
Cool. So anyway, so I went to take a piss, and I was feeling a bit tight-chested, and I'm not sure about you, Nona, you've got like a bit of asthma.
Really mild. I don't have one of the...
You've got an inhaler, you've got a blue inhaler.
I've got a blue inhaler, but I don't have the steroidy one.
Well, in any event, so I went into the bathroom, and if you sometimes get a bit tight-chested, you have a bit of a cough, and sometimes that just kind of clears your chest a bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes just a good cough helps out. In any event, I thought, and I could feel like I was a little bit tight-chested. My inhaler was in the spare bedroom as well, so I figured I was just going to grab that. I hadn't took it to bed with us, and there wasn't one in the bedroom. I had a bit of a cough, and all of a sudden I could feel something in my mouth, and I wasn't sure what it was. Ooh. And so it felt like something stuck to the roof of my mouth. Like if you imagine you'd been eating like toffee or something, you got like something stuck up in the roof of your mouth, up in your palate. So I kind of picked, and all of a sudden there was like what turned out to be a very old piece of paper. Looked like a piece of like confetti, but looked as though it had been there for a long time, which was a bit disgusting. I was properly mortified by this.
Okay.
So I had a cough, and then there was this bit of paper, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And in any event, I was kind of like looking at it. It's been there for a long, long time.
Just, I need to clarify. Did you say that this was a dream at the beginning, or is
No, this is real.
This
This is what happened this morning, about 2 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, as soon as that came out, I wasn't tight-chested anymore, and I haven't used my inhaler. I haven't felt tight-chested, and I've been quite active at work as well. I've been lugging boxes around. It's been a bit dusty. Usually that would set us off. I've been breathing sort of quite hard, which sometimes, like if you're asthmatic, that can sometimes, if you breathe a bit irregular or a bit heavy, that can sometimes give you a bit of a tight chest. It's like my lungs have got like a new lease of life. It's unbelievable. And I'm starting to think, I doubt it's that I haven't got asthma because the medication was helping, but all of a sudden, my lungs are feeling way, way better. It's so weird. But it's like, how long has this fucking thing been stuck inside of either me windpipe down in me lungs or God knows what else? But yeah, it was just like this small, white, kind of raggedy ass piece of confetti, basically. Like, I've been at a wedding, ate some confetti, and it just lodged itself in one of my main cables.
If you're just joining us now, we're on the Gonzo Ewok channel playing Kerbal Space Program, talking about having bits of paper stuck in your teeth and or airway.
No, well, this was airway, and I mean, that was quite upsetting. But you'll notice, like, even when we're talking or we're carrying on, like, as we were, you've been across, you were across for a good half hour or so before we started recording. I'd usually have my inhaler handy. I haven't even needed to think about it. Hasn't even bothered us in the slightest. It's such a strange thing. But yeah, so I'm keeping an eye on this. I didn't keep the bit of paper. I think I just scrunched it up and put it in the bin. But it was a sizable piece. If you imagine, it was about the size of like a 1 penny piece. But yeah, that was my other story. I just thought I'd share that one with you. It was a bit gruesome, and then all of a sudden, like, my lungs feel really, really good. You'll find us like rushed into hospital at the weekend or something, like,
because you've stopped using your inhaler.
Yeah, complete lung. I'm still keeping my inhaler, and I'm still going to order a replacement set of the preventers. I just haven't had a chance. I've been to London, Middlesbrough, Peterborough, Peterlee, Hartlepool. Where the hell else have I been? Durham. Yeah, basically, I've just been all over the shop this week. I haven't even had a chance to stop, even though it's a 2-minute phone call.
Our batteries are brown hot.
The worst of all heats strikes again.
This leg's cool. The others are hot.
Yeah.
It's the funny angle we've come in.
Aye. But
it was very controllable.
Yeah, we have came in. You hardly used any of the heat shield there, the ablator. So that's pretty cool. Coming down. Ooh. Yeah, I think in future builds we need to do something with the legs. I don't like the way they get sort of jarred like that. Yep, doing alright.
Yeah, doing fine, mate. It's a shame that we didn't achieve what we set out to do. We're going to have to give it another go. It's not going to be this episode. Episode, I wouldn't say this has been a bust. We've got some science.
We've got some science. We'll spend this
once we've landed. We'll see what we get out of it. But yeah, I mean,
it wasn't great. It wasn't.
Leroy Jenkins was never going to be a success. Well, I think we've done it proud. It's not been a disaster. No one's died. Yeah. We've spent a bit of money that we could have done with not spending.
Yeah,
we'll get that back.
We'll work on this, but hopefully, if we can get our hands on some science, where we can maybe get some bigger fuel tanks in the WUS engine, get the 400 tanks in the WUS engine.
It's just going to take a little bit of time to get used to the new. I mean, it's basically
the controls that are screwing with.
It's basically a new game with the aerodynamics, and we're only 2.5 hours into it. I mean, how long did it take you to understand Kerbal when you first started?
Nearly 20.
Don't worry, people. It's not going to take with 20 hours.
No. But yeah, from the basics to first playing the game. And what I would say is, if anybody watches our videos but doesn't actually own the game or play it, try the demo. The demo's been updated at 1.0, so
and it's absolutely free, and you can get a lot of gameplay out of just the demo.
Yeah, it's really, really good fun.
It's not like incredibly limited. You can get a few hours out of it, really.
And it'll just give you a bit of a feel for it, you know. It's certainly worth doing. And you learn a lot about space, a lot about orbits as well. It's really, really cool little thing, you know. It's worth checking. But in any event, yeah, I would say you could do that so you can somewhat sympathise with perhaps if you haven't played any of the earlier builds, you might not have that frame of reference. But for us, having that kind of very simple kind of model that existed, which was still difficult enough for her, and then suddenly having one that's much more kind of realistic, yeah, it is. It's certainly ramped up the learning curve a lot, even for, I think you've probably got 150 hours maybe in Kerbal. I
Close to 200 actually.
I think I've got about 110, 115.
And that's only the time I've got clocked on my machine. Obviously, I've played on your machine, and I've played outside Steam as well. Although to be honest, I have Steam open most of the time.
Aye.
I don't think Wendy's going to get back on the ship.
Nah, I know sometimes you can do it, but I'd just maybe recover them separately.
I'll give it a quick go. Well, it's
Splishy splashy.
I actually think I was on there.
Ooh, shit bugger. That's how you get on with some style.
Yeah.
Wendy, leaping like a dolphin, wants to return to the ocean. She looks very happy.
She does. It's because she's stupid.
She's not going to be like...
Recover vessel.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you try that, there'll be a weird glitch of physics and she'll be thrown 400 metres in the air.
And the ship will explode.
Yeah.
And all the science data along with it.
Yeah. So we'll recover that. That should be a fairly decent haul of science. Not as much as we would have got with a Moon Flyby, but not bad.
Not bad at all. Not bad at all. I mean, we're up to 102 already.
That'll get at least one more part on the current tier of the research tree that we're on.
We've got the ship to come back as well. The ship's going to have a little bit, not much. Ship's going to have 21.4. That's not too bad.
No.
Alright, let's take a look at what we can get that could help us out.
This is going to be instrumental in hopefully helping us in the next
one.
one.
Advanced rocketry, we get a larger fuel tank, and we get the Terrier liquid engine, and we get the Thud liquid fuel engine. Those are the outside ones. They're quite cool. Can we afford heavy rocketry? 90 science. Oh no, it's not heavy rocketry we want. It's bigger fuel tanks is what we want. Well, actually, we need both. There's no point having bigger fuel tanks if you haven't got the rockets to put on them.
Aye, but that would give with the 800. That would give us
the
800, and it would give with a fuel cross feed. And I'm thinking maybe a return to asparagus staging.
Yeah, I mean that could help.
I think it's worth a shot with what's going on here.
In terms of having the science now, I think we need to spend it, and I think we should spend it on general construction to get struts. Because we're going to need a bigger ship than what we've got now, and that was all sorts of...
Yeah, if we had that last ship, the Leroy Jenkins strutted up, that might have just held it together a little bit better and maybe kept it under some control. So I'd agree with you.
Well, yeah. I've done it now anyway.
That's a good job. I agreed then, I suppose.
Okay, and we'll call it there. Time of death, 41 minutes and 59 seconds.
42 seconds.
42 seconds. Time of death, 42 seconds, to be fair. From
minutes.
42 seconds in, most of the people would have realised.
It's probably the fact that I get minutes and seconds confused is why we don't get anywhere.
Okay.
Great.
Thanks very much for watching. You can subscribe to see more of our videos. You can go to our website if you want. There's nothing there apart from the videos at the moment, but they're nicely categorised.
Yeah, we're hoping once we've got a bit of time to maybe write a few little blogs, a few articles, a few sort of opinion pieces just on sort of gaming related stuff, really. Whatever takes our fancy.
We will get around to it. You can also follow us on Facebook or look us up on Twitter and follow Gonzo's ramblings. He does most of the posting.
I'm a social butterfly, what can I say?
And if you've liked what you've seen, I hope you'll join us next time where we'll have another attempt to do a moon flyby with a bit of a bigger rocket and hopefully with a little bit of practice under our belt before the next recording session. Thank you, and we'll see you then.
Cheerio, bye-bye.